today. From NRG Stadium in Houston, Texas. This is the National Football League. We'll see Davis Mills and the Houston Texans taking on Kyler Murray and the Arizona Cardinals.
EA Sports coverage of the National Football League is on the air. Coming up, we've got a good matchup on tap between the Arizona Cardinals and the Houston Texans. And a welcome in, everybody, with Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gaudin, and Charles, so much gets made about offensive comparisons. Here's a matchup where the defenses may just take center stage.
Yeah, we're usually talking about guys scoring touchdowns. How about the guys who prevent them and change the momentum of the game when they take the ball away? I love those ball hawks in the secondary. People after my own heart.
And we are underway from NRG Stadium in Houston. On the return, Rondale Moore will bring it out. And he'll wind up getting a couple extra yards here for his trouble and bringing it out of the end zone as he's down at the 27. The Cardinals making their way out, and it's the #1 overall pick in 2019, Kyler Murray at the helm.
Drafted with the idea that he'd be one of the most dangerous quarterbacks in the NFL when he put it all together. We've been seeing that progress throughout his career. This guy's legs, we knew they were phenomenal. Arm, top-notch. But now we're seeing his mind come into the game. Reed's defense is better and better each and every week, and is showing patience as a passer as well. Not as eager to exit the pocket, finding guys downfield for bigger plays.
And he'll be tackled at about the 35. 9 yards on the first down. Keeper it at 2nd and 1.
Someone's looking fresh, and this O-line is definitely licking their chops. Everyone likes to run block. If you're an offensive lineman, nice early burst, nice gain too.
First carry for James Conner. 2 yards, good enough for a first.
2nd and 1, and people want to run the football. This is where every back in the league is supposed to do exactly what we just saw there. Pick up the first down.
So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. Shotgun now for Murray. And complete to Zach Ertz. And they'll get this well past midfield before being stopped just before the 35. The extra effort after the catch makes it good for a gain of 26 and also a first down.
Man coverage on the left side, so I really like the design of this play because they opened up the field and brought their tight end the other way on a crossing route. That's a lot of ground to cover if you're a defender. I've been there before, unable to stay with his man there.
So a 1st and 10 now in Houston territory at the 36. Murray a give. This is Conner. And he's going to take this ahead for right around 3 yards, but no more than that. 2nd down.
Not a huge carry there on first down, but not all of them will be. But still, all in all, a positive play for the offense. It's all about picking up at least a few to set up what you're going to do here on 2nd down.
Three yards on that last carry. Here's 2nd and 7. Play action. Now it's Murray. And this is caught. It's Brown. And he's going to be taken down with another first down as the stop's made at the Texans' 14. 19 yards to pick up there. Move the chains. Here's a 1st and 10 at the 14-yard line. From the red zone, here's the Heisman Trophy winner, Murray. And he'll take this beyond the line of scrimmage as he slides to a hole. He'll get 5 out of the scramble. It's 2nd down.
I certainly like what he did right there because he smartly wanted to avoid forcing anything downfield because nothing appeared to be open. Nice harmless slide there to avoid the big hit, and he gets a small gain on the play.
Murray flips his forward on a jet sweep. That play gets him 6 yards and sets them up with a 1st and goal.
And that's something you have to get ready for defensively because in today's NFL, teams will use their wide receivers on jet sweeps, end arounds. They'll move them back in the backfield and make them running backs. Partner, this was much more of a tap pass, but effective nonetheless.
And I think both guys love it. If you're a quarterback, it's an easy completion. If you're a wide receiver. And he is in for 6. Touchdown, Cardinals. James Conner, a 3-yard touchdown run. And the Cardinals get the upper hand as they're on the board first here this afternoon. That's just a solid, methodical drive to start this game.
And how about how it culminated? Doing exactly what they wanted to do, getting the ball downfield, and then running it into the end zone. I'm just telling you, partner, when you run it in rather than throw it in, that hurts a defense psychologically a heck of a lot more.
Now Matt Prater for the point after. And the Cardinals will go up 7-0. So that drive in total 8 plays. And it was a touchdown run by James Conner that was the exclamation mark. After the touchdown, out is Prater to kick. And Smith not going to bring it out, so it's a touchback. So out come the Texans for their opening drive. Leading them out in his 2nd season now out of Stanford. Here's Davis Mills.
And remember, when he came out of college, he left early, so a lot of people weren't really paying attention to this young man, but he was entrusted with a leadership role early in his NFL career and didn't shy away from it. His goal, continue to prove that there should have been one more quarterback that went in the 1st round of the 2021 draft.
Mills throw complete here, pulled in by Howard. And from the 25, they work this to the 29, a gain of 4.
Brandon, to me, what's important right here on this drive is for them to get at least 2 first downs. They've got to give their defense a chance to settle down, catch their breath a little bit after they give up a touchdown on the opening drive.
2nd and 6, just inside the 30. Throwing, Mills. That's caught. It's Chris Moore. And brought down, but not before reaching the 45-yard line. 16 yards on that one, and also a Texan 1st down. They'll run it for the first time with Dameon Pierce. And he'll get it across midfield and down into Cardinal territory. Just what you want on a 1st down run. Call it 8 yards, and it's 2nd and 2.
You know what really fires up offensive linemen? When the guy that is carrying the ball behind them
can create his own space and break a tackle along the way.
8 yards the gain on that last run. Here's second and a couple. And Pierce gets it again on second down. And this time not as successful as he'll get back to the line of scrimmage and no more. He got maybe a half yard at most, but officially they'll be left with a 3rd and 2. The good run on first down followed up by a not-so-good run on second down.
Now let's find out if they're going to stick with the run here on 3rd down. A lot of people would love to see some play action here. I say go with your best running play over your best blocker.
Pierce will try to pick it up. And some room to maneuver. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. That burst good for 20 and a first down.
Plenty of things to talk about here, partner, but to me, their defense gave up a touchdown on the first drive. How about how they're responding, coming back? That's a big 3rd down pickup to keep their drive alive.
Mills now looks to throw on first down. He's got his tight end over the middle, O.J. Howard. And they're going to be set up now with the ball at the 13-yard line. A nice gain there to his trusty tight end, and now it's got them thinking opening drive touchdown here as they get into the red zone.
And in most cases with your tight end, you feel like you've got a mismatch no matter who's covering him. Is it a small cornerback? Is it a linebacker who may not run as well? In any event, whatever you see, you think that tight end can win that battle.
Yeah, that's good for a gain of 6, and it's second down. Well, that's not just his first, not his second, already his 3rd completion here on the opening drive. And I think it's safe to say that getting him the ball in this game, one of their top priorities.
And a top priority for the defense has got to be finding ways to cover him. And I don't think you can have one basic coverage to get it done. You have to throw a number of coverages at him, make him think as he's running downfield, and hope you can create a little bit of havoc.
To the end zone, but it's incomplete.
Well, that's one way you take away a first down as a defender. Make sure you have a little bit of physical play when the ball gets to the receiver. Find a way to jostle it free. They caught him off guard, forced the incompletion.
This will be play number 9 of the drive here as they need 4 yards on 3rd down. Mills. Oh, the ball comes out on the hit, but they'll say it's incomplete. Now they're staring at a 4th down as Arizona's defense does its job.
Well, how about the coverage we just saw break out on 3rd down? Dime defense, blanketed the field with extra defensive backs and speed, unable to find an open hole to complete that pass.
Mills to the sideline, and out now is Kaimi Fairbairn for the Houston field goal try. From the left hash, should be a fairly easy one here. The kick by Fairbairn is good, and they are on the board, but still trailing. It's 7-3. So both teams come away with points on their opening drives. Now they still trail. They answered the touchdown with a field goal, but at least able to break that goose egg here early.
And that is what's important, right? Because they didn't let that initial touchdown go unanswered. Took the ball themselves, moved it downfield, and put it through the post for 3 points. Game on.
Fairbairn now following the made field goal. He'll send this one away. Fielded just outside the goal line. And he takes this near the 25. Just a little pass there. Call it the 26. So the Cardinals offense back onto the field here for their 2nd drive of the game. This drive here beginning probably with a pair of motivated groups. Remember, the offense scored a touchdown on their last time out, looking to repeat that in Charles's defense. They were very frustrated after giving up 6 the last time on the field.
And frankly, it's just a battle of wills in a lot of ways because you know they're both motivated. They both game plan for this drive, and they both have specific outcomes in mind. To me, it just comes down to who can execute better and which side can step up and assert its will over the other. I can't be sure how much of that was planned pre-snap, but it certainly opens up some avenues for their offense, and if he can stay a threat to break off those kind of runs, it'll pull defenders away from coverage and open up some choice throwing lanes for him moving forward.
One play has him up past the 40 already, and another 1st and 10. From the gun, a give to Connor. And not a whole lot of room to operate there on the 1st down run. He gets maybe 3.
Look, all any running back wants is a little bit of room, a little bit of space in order to maneuver. But he also understands how difficult it is for his offensive line up front. So if they give him any space, he realizes his job to make more out of it than what they give him. Picks up 3 on that carry.
The last run got 3. Now here's 2nd and 7. Here's Murray. And they're going to get this to about the 44-yard line.
There he goes, and for good reason. Running with it has paid dividends earlier in this game and earlier on this drive. And until they prove they can stop him, I don't think he's going to be shy about continuing to run for 1st downs instead of airing it out.
So a 1st and 10 now in Houston territory at the 44-yard line. And now Murray's going to set up the throw. Dancing to his left. And he'll protect himself at the end here as he winds up getting pretty decent yardage. He'll get 10 there all on his own, but it'll be 2nd down.
I don't want to be a jinx partner and put the whammy on him, but I think we could be looking at all-time damn the ground with the way that he's going. Only a few quarterbacks in this league are capable of a 100-yard game, and he's halfway there just in the 1st quarter. This is a record-setting pace. Hopefully, he can keep it up, and we can have fun watching it.
And he gets it down to the 32. Only a gain of a yard, but that's all they needed.
Well, that was a unit that understood exactly where the 1st down marker was, handed it to their guy who could run it, created some space, and he got there.
All runs on this drive so far. It's 1st and 10. They'll stay on the ground with Connor again. It's a 6-yard pickup, but it gets them to 2nd and 4.
They've created a nice sustained drive off of plays like that. A nice strong run there that keeps them advancing the ball.
The last run got 6. Now 2nd and 4. Murray now to throw. Flushed out right. And he's going to get this down near the 25. They'll come up now on a 2nd and long after the hold. Here's Murray as he sets to throw it. And his throw is incomplete. Hollywood Brown, the intended receiver, 3rd down here.
That was a nice job defensively of disguising their coverage and making it difficult for the quarterback to lock in on a receiver, and it results in an incomplete pass.
A long way to go here on 3rd down for the 8th play of the drive. Murray going to throw. Looking left sideline, it's complete. And he's going to be taken down with another 1st down as the stop's made at the Texans 16. Boy, a nice play there as they wind up converting on 3rd and 15.
That's a play that will likely be forgotten when you talk about big moments in this game. But plays like this are critical to keep drives going. And if points result, we'll call this play significant.
So the ball down to the 16 here for 1st and 10. From the red zone now, they'll look to throw. Looking middle, and that's complete. And he's going to get a solid gain of 9 before being brought down. 2nd and right at a yard.
It certainly feels like there are more stars at the tight end position than there were even 10 years ago. And I think it's become more of a glamour position because of the ways it can hurt a defense, and guys want to be involved. They can be in line, close to the line of scrimmage. They can split out like receivers. But hands, route running, speed, and some toughness to go across the middle, you put it all together, you got a heck of a tight end candidate.
Only gets a yard, but it's enough to set him up 1st and goal.
Now that's the way to do it. Hand it to someone with vision and good footwork, and add in a little bit of power, and you find a way to pick up 1st downs.
They'll run here with Connor. And not a whole lot there. He does get a couple, taking it from the 5 down to the 3.
This offense has a lot of weapons, but you know they like to look Connor's way down here near the end zone. He's got that rugged running style, and that's a nice job there to hold him to a short pickup.
So the ball position now at the 3. Here's 2nd and goal. And he will push his way forward down to about the 3-yard line. Only a yard there on the keeper, and that's going to leave him with a 3rd down. They'll try to run it. This is Connor. And he'll take this one in for the Arizona touchdown. James Conner with his 2nd touchdown of this opening quarter. And they are able to add on to their advantage. So 2 drives, 2 touchdowns here in this 1st quarter, and he's got both of them.
Well, he's certainly setting himself up for a big game here, and I think if the play caller doesn't get in his own way, they should keep riding him the entire way of this game. Until the defense proves they can stop him, that's what I would call.
Prater on to add the extra point. And this one's right through to make it a 14-3 ball game. So that drive spans 13 plays. And it was a touchdown run by James Conner that was the exclamation mark. After the touchdown, out is Prater to kick. Fielded just outside the goal line. A solid return, pretty good field position. They'll start at the 32. So now we get set to see Houston for their 2nd drive of the ball game. And last time they got 3 points, but it was a chip shot field goal. And when you go to the sideline after a chip shot field goal, maybe the offense not too happy.
It's a balancing act, isn't it? Because you're exactly right. They're none too pleased that they didn't punch it in for 6 points. But they also have to remember they did put points on the board.
3 points is 3 points.
And in this league, you take points when you can get them. Not easily done.
Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9.
No doubt about it. A really nice job there by the defense, not allowing him to get to the perimeter. But that means your defensive ends, your outside linebackers, the guys that you pay big money to sack the quarterback, they also have to have interest in the running game as well. And they did a nice job there of holding the point of attack and not giving ground.
And he'll be out of bounds, but able to get it up past the 45. First catch of the game for Cooks. It'll be a 1st down.
Now how about this throw right here? Had to throw it to the left sideline, and you know the timing's got to be correct on this one. Ball's got to be right where it needs to be, and it was. That's because he had great arm strength on that one, able to drive the football Quarterbacks love it when they can show off their arms.
Mills on first down. There again is Cooks, complete. And he'll be tackled on the other side of midfield at the 46-yard line. Oh, boy, hang on here. J.J. Watt appears to be injured or at least shaken up on that last play. So as the medical staff takes a look, we'll step aside. Working with 2nd and 5 now. Off the play fake, Mills. That'll be caught. It's the tight end, Howard. And they're going to have another first down as the tackle's made here at the Cardinals' 22-yard line. That one goes for 24 yards.
They had 2 tight ends in the formation on that one. It looked to me like he had his pick of receivers downfield.
I think he was just planning on going over the middle. That's what he did.
Picked up first down, too.
They had to settle for 3 last drive, hoping this second go-around ends in 6. In good position, 1st and 10. 1st and 10, it's Pierce. And he's going to take this ahead for right around 3 yards, but no more than that. 2nd down. After one, a 14-3 ball game. Second and 7 from the 20. Here's Mills. To Pierce, they set up the screen. And he'll be out of bounds. 19 yards on the pickup there, and now they'll have it 1st and goal.
And when you're throwing the ball downfield really well like they have been on this drive, it's really a nice time to work one of the screen plays in. One of my favorite play callers in the game has always told me he starts every game with 10 to 12 screens because if he starts feeling the pressure from the defense, he uses their aggressiveness against them.
First and goal, and they got to be thinking a chance to get right back into this football game. Here's Pierce. And he is going to lose yardage here. That's going to go as a loss of 2, and it'll be 2nd down.
That's a really alert defense there because they saw the heavy look come in from the offense, countered it with extra linebackers who brought a little bit of speed and heft, and able to really make a big-time play for their defense.
So they're backed up to the 3-yard line, 2nd and goal. Again, it's Pierce. And he fights his way into the end zone for a Texans touchdown. Dameon Pierce, a 3-yard touchdown run. And the Texans have got it back to within a score. And they would not be denied on the ground, powering it in just one play after they got stopped short.
And how about how many tight ends were on the field? Because in today's NFL, we think of a tight end more as a pass catcher. But this group, they tell them you've got to be able to run block to stay on this team. And they committed to it and got it done right there.
Kaimi Fairbairn on for the extra point. And he's got it. That cuts the lead. It's now 14-10. So that drive takes him down the field in 8 plays. And it was Dameon Pierce closing things out with a touchdown run. So after the touchdown, here's Fairbairn now to kick it away. And here comes a return from just beyond the goal line. And he'll be stopped right around where he would have been had he gone down to a knee, maybe a yard shy of there at the 24. The football back in the hands of the Arizona Cardinals. Now, right now they're saying, hey, let's keep this going. 2 drives, 2 touchdowns.
Yeah, can't ask for a better start than that, can you? I mean, this is the way you practice it. This is the way you rehearse it. But right now, the play calling, they're locked in really well.
They start the drive with Connor. And not a whole lot of room to operate there on the first down run. He gets maybe 3.
They just keep trying, but so far, finding no room for him to run.
None whatsoever. In fact, you run the numbers. He's under 3 yards a carry at the moment. Second down and 7. Murray now. Zach Ertz has it complete. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. That one covers 24 yards. It's a first down.
And that was good protection there. No, that was great protection there because it allowed him to lock in on his receiver, although I think he was looking for his tight end on the corner route all the way. Nice connection there for a really nice gain.
So a 1st and 10 now in Houston territory at the 49-yard line. Now Murray. And he's got the hook up to Moore. And the tackle going to be made at the 38.
You always worry about those smaller receivers running through that gnarly patch of land in the middle of the field. But he did a really nice job there holding on to the football and protected himself as best he could while completing the play.
So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. Connor up the middle. 3 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be second down.
It's a pickup of 3. Brings up 2nd and 7 at the Texans' 35-yard line.
They'll fake it to Connor. Now Murray. And this will be swung out here for Connor. And he's going to be taken down at the 28-yard line.
The defense was ready for the back to leak out and even had a second player waiting to double him up. If you're going to commit to doubling a back, you better prevent a completion, but give him credit. Extra determination, extra effort, turn it into a successful play.
Oh, it's a nickel set here defensively on 3rd and inches.
Still want to be prepared for a pass.
They'll try and run forward with Connor. And he's able to pick up the first before he's taken down at the 27.
Brandon, what were they thinking on defense there? They looked like they were playing for the pass. That was 3rd and short. Yeah, it was an easy pickup because they handed it to him. That was way too easy.
Just looked like absolute confusion defensively. Not sure why they were in that set.
Yeah, I'd say you ought to have a few men in the box there.
On 1st and 10, here's Murray. And he finds his tight end. It's Ertz. And they've got this down to about the 12-yard line.
Nice job there of utilizing his big target. He didn't overthink it. Understands the catch radius, understands that he knows how to use his body to keep defenders away from the ball, and puts it right out there for the nice pickup.
From down at the 12, it's 1st and 10. Out of the shotgun, they'll run with Connor. He'll get this down inside the 10 for a pickup of about 3.
Now that call makes sense because they've been throwing it well on this drive, and once again they show passing formation, showing the shotgun. Then they ran out of it. That's a nice play by them defensively, though, to hold it to a short gain.
It's 2nd and 7 from the 9. To throw, it's Murray. He's got it. Touchdown. Rondale Moore. A 9-yard touchdown grab as his guys are able to extend their lead. So, Charles, that's 3 touchdowns on 3 drives, and it's just been an offensive barrage so far.
Great word, partner, using barrage right there. I'm going to add another word if you don't mind. How about perfection? No surprise that they're leading right now. Absolute dominance throughout this ball game and no signs of slowing down.
Now Prater to add the PAT. It's good, and it's 21-10. So that drive consumes 9 plays all told. And the Cardinals cap it with a touchdown. After the touchdown, out is Prater to kick. Taken at the goal line. And he'll be stopped up at the 25. Out comes the Houston offense as they get set to take over here. A lot of time for this unit to game plan on the sideline after that drive that they watched the other side just score. But remember, last time they were out, they scored as well. We'll see if they can seize that momentum right back.
And they have had a lot of time to cool off from reaching the end zone the last time. So have they been able to keep themselves mentally sharp and into this game, even though they haven't been on the field? And you and I both know, one big play that gets them right back up to that level.
A huge play there for Houston. 43 yards.
You ask tight ends about their favorite routes to run, and surprisingly, this will pop up as one of their staples because they run so many routes in the middle of the field. How about this one? Starts downfield, bends it to the corner, great touch on the football, and they turn that one into a big play.
So the big play changes the complexion of things. Here's 1st and 10 just outside the 30. Pierce now up the middle. Has some strong running there as he's down just shy of the 20 on the edge of the red zone. 45 yards rushing now on 8 carries for him so far.
But they're getting ready to go to work now in prime real estate after that last run. Found his spot and picked up nice yardage, didn't he?
And now he's got him knocking on the door of the red zone. First down, they go right back to Pierce. And this one goes nowhere. Losing yardage back at the 22. Officially, it's a 1-yard loss. That's going to bring up 2nd and 11.
Sometimes I forget how much information he has to go through before the ball's even snapped. But what a diagnosis right there. Saw the play, shot through the gap like a rocket, and ends up spilling it for a loss.
So after the loss of a yard, they'll look to push forward here on 2nd down and 11. Mills now. And he's going to be taken down back around the 35-yard line. The defense rising to the challenge and setting him back on the sack.
Yeah, some real defensive resistance there, saying not so fast to a good drive. They had marched to the end zone the last time out.
So now after the sack, Mills and the Texans needing to navigate a 3rd and long. Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. And he's brought down, but not before he reaches the 8-yard line. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal.
And this is an offense in need of getting a few good things to happen. Here's one right here. They've had their share of struggles in key moments, but that's a nice throw and nice work after the throw. And they're set up now with a 1st and goal.
First and goal, and they got to be thinking a chance to get right back into this football game.
Let's go, defense.
Looking to throw is Mills. Quick hitter here, it's complete. Only a yard on the completion. It's 2nd and goal.
Got to give credit where it's due. Really nice defense on that play. The pitch and catch was successful, but not any run after it.
The 6-yard line, the line of scrimmage on 2nd and goal. On 2nd down, here's Pierce. And he's brought down right at the 5-yard line. Give him 2 on the play.
And a nice job defensively to keep him out of the end zone. He was trying to get his 2nd touchdown already in the 1st half.
They had that one earlier, was bidding for a 2nd. This offense so far on 3rd down, they've been okay. 2 for 3 thus far. They're looking at a 3rd and goal here. Toward the pylon, caught. And just shy of the goal line as he's out of bounds right at the 1. They got a yard on 1st, 2 on 2nd, and 3 here on 3rd.
Great job here by this defense. They try to bring the receiver from one side of the field to the other, hoping he'll get lost in the wash. But a really nice job there to make a quick tackle and force 4th and goal.
Now the short yardage man, Burkhead. And he's in for the score. Touchdown, Texans. Rex Burkhead punching it in from a yard away. And the Texans' decision to go for it pays off with 6 points. Well, this defense held out as long as they could, but ultimately the running game wears them down from the 1-yard line.
And that gets set up throughout the entire drive, doesn't it? And when you put those big bodies and determination into that carry, the end result, touchdown.
Fairbairn now to add the extra point. And he's got it to make this a 21-17 game. That time a 9-play drive. And it ends with a 1-yard touchdown run. So after the touchdown, here's Fairbairn now to kick it away. From From a couple yards deep, he'll bring it out of the end zone. And ultimately cannot get this out to the 25-yard line as he's dropped at the 23. Kyler Murray going to lead the Cardinals back out on offense. 5 for 5 that last drive. Touchdown pass as well. He was clicking. Receivers, I don't want to be cliche, but running really solid routes too.
And what I love about it is when you look across any team, all right, the body types of the receivers are usually different. The way that...
And he's going to have to eat this one as down he goes. Malik Collins able to take him down. It's a loss of 3.
So this has been a lot like a tennis match, hasn't it? Back and forth. Both these offenses having their way so far. So maybe the question isn't who's going to score the most points in this game. Maybe it's who's going to get some stops.
Yeah, absolutely. And that sack, finally a first step in the right direction for a stop. So following the sack, they'll try to change their fortune here on 2nd and 13. Murray flips this forward on the jet sweep. And they'll get 8 out of this before being stopped at the 28.
And a lot of times these plays, they either go for nothing or they go for big yardage. And here, they got to the outside, turned it upfield, and ended up getting a nice little gain out of it.
The Texans here on 3rd down, putting an extra defender in the secondary. Throwing now is Murray. Ertz over the middle. And he gets this one just shy of the 40, down at the 39. Starting to rack up the yardage here in this first half. 5 catches now and a first down.
And that's well executed there on 3rd down. And I love the confidence that they had to let their tight end try and find some space in the middle of the field, right in their quarterback's line of vision. And QBs love to make that easy throw, and they hooked up there for a first down.
So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. Out of the gun, here's Murray. This one grabbed by A.J. Green. And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50. 15 more there, and they're on a roll. It's another first down. And he's going to be met at about the 43. Give him 3 on the keeper there, and it is 2nd down.
It's a pickup of 3. Brings up 2nd and 7 at the Texans' 43-yard line.
From the gun, Murray. That pass complete to Moore. And he'll be brought down inside the 40-yard line.
They kept the receiver in the short field, but that let his quarterback get the ball quickly to him before either guy in double coverage could react.
7th play of the drive now as they come up on a 3rd and 3. Here's Murray. And this is going to be incomplete.
I know coaches tell us all the time that having a powerful arm isn't the #1 thing they look for in a quarterback. But when you're trying to throw inside routes and you need to put some heat on it, it helps have the big gun. In this case, just a little bit too much.
So coming on now is the field goal unit. They're going to try for 3, and he'll need all the leg he's got here. And this one will not get there. It's off to the left anyway. It's no good, and this will stay a 4-point game. And now out comes Houston. The last time out, they had to march almost the full length of the field for their touchdown. So here, much easier, Charles, with this better starting field position.
I love your sarcasm. But I love even more your observation because, look, what they did last time out, now with a shorter field, they should have a lot of confidence that they're going to put more points up on the board.
Buried by multiple defenders on the drive's first play.
Well, obviously the pass rush gets the glory and the statistics on this play, but the coverage, they deserve a ton of credit too. Denied open windows, erased the quarterback's targets one by one. Everywhere he looked, someone was covered. Only a matter of time before someone got there to bring him down.
After the sack, here's 2nd and 11. Play fake, Mills. Try to lay one up deep. That's going to be knocked away and incomplete.
Well, that play was certainly a little bit different because on the previous play, he was sacked. This time, protection a lot better. Had time to survey the field and still couldn't find an open receiver.
The Texans on 3rd down. They've hit 2 for 4 thus far. This is 3rd and 11. Mills to throw it. And he's got a man. It's the tight end Howard, complete. And he is going to have a Texans first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion. That'll put him over 100 yards receiving now here in this first half of action. Two minutes remaining in this first half of football. Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. A first down throw for Mills. And he can't find anywhere to go with it, and he goes down. It looks like a loss of right around 11 there on 1st down to set him back on 2nd. He continues, Charles, to be under constant pressure, and these sacks, they're starting to pile up.
And if they want to have a realistic chance in this one, they've got to change their blocking assignments. They've got to do a better job to keep him upright. If he's going to be on the deck constantly, they've got no chance to win this game.
And it is incomplete. I had a defender running right with him. And now it's 3rd down. The secondary has been roasted in this first half, but they get a measure of revenge there. Nice play on the deep ball.
Yeah, they're going to need a few more plays like that in order to get their confidence fully back, but that's one step in the proper direction.
3rd and long for Mills. They dial up the screen here to Burkhead. And he's got room. And he is out of bounds, but not before he's inside the 30. They get a big amount back, 18 yards, but they'll still look at a 4th down now.
Well, don't tell any defensive coordinator I played for, but that might be considered a win for both teams because defensively they stopped them short and forced the 4th down. But offensively, they picked up enough yards to give their kicker a better shot if that's what they want to do.
Mills to the sideline, and out now is Kaimi Fairbairn for the Houston field goal try. He made his first attempt, this from 45. Fairbairn able to put this one through, and that'll bring him back within a point. So the margin shrinks there as they get the field goal to draw them a bit closer here in the 2nd quarter.
Yeah, nice snap, nice hold. They just want to keep this game close, so give them credit for finishing that one off with 3.
Fairbairn now following the made field goal. He'll send this one away. And Moore, he's going to sit on this one, and the drive will begin at the 25-yard line. Arizona getting ready to go as they take the field. Still more than a minute to go, so there is time if they want to mount something here.
Not only time, but they have 3 timeouts at their disposal as well, so that changes everything that you're doing here. Without those timeouts, you can only work the sidelines, hoping to get out of bounds. Here, the middle of the field is still available because you can call timeout and regroup.
Yeah, he'll be out of bounds just shy of the 40. They'll get 34 yards there.
Well, you don't have to be a genius to watch this game and figure out they've had plenty of success moving the football here in the first half. We've seen exhibits A, B, C, and right on down the line, haven't we?
Yeah, we just saw exhibit Z right there. So the big play gets him across midfield now for 1st and 10. To throw is Murray. This will be caught once again by Brown. And they're going to get this down to about the 37.
2nd and 6 at the 37-yard line.
The Cardinals going to use the first of their timeouts as they'll stop it with just over a minute to go before halftime. From the 37, they work on 2nd and 6. Looking to throw. Murray. This will be caught by Brown. Now another timeout called for by the offense as the stoppage will come with a little under a minute to go in this first half. So 1st and 10 now from the 30. Back to throw again. He'll get this to Connor underneath. And he's brought down inside the 20 at the 18-yard line.
As a passer, you're always trying to find that open window to throw the ball downfield. How about this one? Right in the middle of the field, right in the heart of a defense.
So from inside the 20, here's 1st and 10 at the 18. From the red zone now, they'll look to throw. To the right side, and he's got Moore complete. And he will reach the 8-yard line before going out. 11 more on that one, and another first down.
Boy, how about the speed with which this offense can get down the field? It's taken them no time at all to get down here. And now they're set up with a 1st and goal.
A chance to really cap off a big first half here as they come up on 1st and goal. Now Murray again. And that incompletion breaks a string of 5 straight connections. And it's 2nd down.
I think he's got to be careful not to force anything into coverage right there. There weren't really any throwing lanes. But the best part for him, he's got 2nd and 3rd down to fall back on.
Nothing on 1st down, so the ball remains at the 8-yard line, 2nd and goal. Shotgun now for Murray. And he'll be brought down here at the 3-yard line. The Cardinals forced to burn their 3rd and final timeout as it'll come with 15 seconds to play in the first half. Big play coming here. It's 3rd and goal. Now a shotgun snap as they'll look to throw. To the goal line, but it's incomplete. Boy, such a good drive. You'd hate to have it end in 3. Do you think about going for it?
Absolutely. I mean, the fact that they've moved the ball so well should lead you to the decision that maybe we should go for it right here. Also, as a head coach, show some confidence in your team. Let them know you think they can go get it.
Prater's kick is good. And high fives for that one as that drive ends in 3. So a long drive gets them down inside the 5, but ultimately they settle for just the field goal.
And I have to think that if maybe they were a yard closer, that would have made their decision tougher, and I think they likely would have gone for it. But in this situation, they just decided to take the 3, and I think it was a smart move.
So not much time to work with here. 9 seconds remain in the half as this one is away. Takes it at the 7. And good starting field position. He'll get this one all the way up to about the 35-yard line. Houston's offense already at the line, set to get going. And they'll have time for one play. That's it. 3 seconds to go before intermission. He'll let one go deep for Howard. It's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect. So we've reached halftime in a wild first half. We'll take a minute to catch our breath as we'll get you over to Orlando, where standing by is Jonathan Coachman. He has our EA Sports halftime report.
All right, BG, thanks very much, and welcome one and all to our beautiful new downtown Orlando studios for this EA Sports halftime report. Back and forth, we win in that first half. This has certainly been an entertaining one to watch thus far. So let's get right back out to it, as we'll rejoin our commentators, Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
Okay, Coach, yeah, adjustments likely going to play a big role in this third quarter in what's been a tight contest so far. Both these offenses have been in fine form. What will the second half bring us as we are underway in quarter 3? And he will not bring it out. It's a touchback. And the Texans getting ready to go here to begin the third quarter. Well, Charles, in that first half, we saw a fair amount of offense on both sides of the football, and now the team trailing here will start with it in the third quarter.
And we both know this coach pretty darn well, don't we? Because his game planning is always on point. And now that he's getting the ball to start the second half.
Trying to fit it into Moore, but it's intercepted. Buda Baker with a pick. And the Cardinals are going to take possession of the football. But that one is going to sting. First play of the third quarter and a turnover.
And you have to know that at halftime, they spent a lot of time going through their checklist of what they wanted to accomplish to start this third quarter. Turning it over like this was not on that list.
Not at all. And you come out of the locker room trailing, so that first drive to establish momentum is very key.
Crucial.
After the turnover, here's Murray. Pass to Brown. He's got it on the crossing route. And they will eventually get him down, but he's inside the 5 all the way to the 3. Well, as a lineman, they are trained. You've got to stay close to home. If you're more than a yard downfield, they're going to toss that flag, and they did there. Back to throw. Murray over the middle, complete. It's Connor. And he'll be taken down at about the 22-yard line. He's got good size. We know he's tough to bring down running the ball. That also carries over to the passing game like we saw there.
And at his size, how'd you like to try and stop him on that angle route? Him coming out of the backfield, breaking sharply, catching the football. It's going to take a lot more than one guy, most likely, to bring him down. That was a nice game.
From the 22, Murray. Throwing the out route incomplete. That's Hopkins. And they're going to get this down inside the 15.
Well, that's what you're looking for when you want to throw the ball downfield. You want one of those guys who can play out on the perimeter, can play out wide, who can not only get open, but when they're covered, can uncover themselves downfield and create catches.
Throwing on first down is Murray. Over the middle, it's complete. And the Cardinals are going to be set up with a 1st and goal on a pass play that moves them all the way down to the 1. This offense can certainly move quickly when they want to. 3 plays, 3 pass completions. In the blink of an eye, they've got a 1st and goal.
Almost felt like a lightning bolt hit in this game, didn't it? For them to get downfield that quickly. And now 1st and goal, expect them to attack right here on this play.
Connor. No signal, and now they say he did not get in. He is stonewalled at the 1. No gain on the play, and it's going to be 2nd and goal.
They're right there at the 1. No gain, but don't let that stop you. Line back up and keep going at them. If I'm them, I'm thinking about going at it 4 straight times.
On 2nd and goal. Murray toward the end zone, but that's going to wind up incomplete.
One thing you hope to see out of a rookie tight end is a real concentration when the ball's in the air, and I'm not sure that he didn't, but he has to be prepared for people making a play on it when that ball's up for grabs.
Now, they'd really like to make the short field pay off. We'll see if they can, but this is 3rd and goal. They'll look to run with Connor. And he will get into the end zone. Touchdown, Arizona. James Conner taking it in from a yard out. And the Cardinals use the short field to get in for 6. That seemed pretty ideal there for the offense, Charles. You take a little bit of time off the clock here in the 3rd quarter, decent length drive, and you pad your lead as well at the end of it.
And what it does is let you feel like you're in control of this game, even more so than a 2-touchdown lead, right? Because you have taken that time off, as you noted, which means they couldn't get you off the field. You ran your playbook the way you wanted to, and you gave your defense some rest. What a big-time drive in that situation.
Extra point good by Prater, and that pushes the lead up to 11. That time a 6-play drive, and it was a touchdown run by James Conner that was the exclamation mark. After the touchdown, out is Prater to kick. And Smith chooses not to return it, and they'll bring it out to the 25. Houston set to take over. This offense returning out there, and really, you remember the last drive, Charles, it was over before it even began. They threw the interception on the very first play.
And what that means is for all these guys, it's been a while since they've been out there going full speed, so they've got to get everyone back out there, run a couple of your go-to plays, make sure you get your offense oiled up a little bit. They've got to be able to start fast, but they've got to be efficient as well.
Especially the quarterback. Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9.
That felt like a trap because it looked to me like the opposing front was on that play from the get-go. They had everyone crashing the ball carrier before he even made the line, and they hold him to just a yard.
The run only got a yard. Here's 2nd and 9. From the shotgun, it's Mills. And that's complete to Cooks. So the completion good for 7 there. And it makes it 3rd down and 2 yards to go.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
Going for it with Pierce. And he will be very close to a 1st down, but I see the closed fist of the referee, and that means 4th down.
When we talk about defenders, specifically linebackers, keeping their eyes in the right spot, he had that eye down the entire time.
And you know that's not easily done because they throw a lot of misdirection at you. They try and fool you and get your eyes in the wrong place. But you're right about that one. He correctly figured that one out and made a really nice play.
Here's Cameron Johnston now. And surprisingly, this is the first punt of the game for either team. It'll be a net of 39, 41-yard punt, 2 on the return. And the Cards will take over 1st and 10.
The football going back over to Arizona now. And as the offense begins another drive here, pretty simple, Charles. They want to carbon copy what happened the last time out when they ended their drive in the end zone.
You're right about that, partner. Sounds pretty simple, doesn't it? Just score again, but we know it's not that simple because we don't just make adjustments at halftime if you're a good football team. You spend that time on the sideline, you study what's on the notes and the tablets, and you make those adjustments to prevent a repeat of the last drive. Series to series, the best teams, that's how they get it done.
And we'll find out here soon enough whether those adjustments are enough defensively.
From the 27, Murray. And hit behind the line. He lost the football. It's loose. When that ball popped free, we could hear it all the way up here. Those guys down on the field alerting everyone to the fumble. He's lucky that his offensive mates picked him up and jumped on it.
Yeah, and you have to think to yourself, and I'm sure they've been echoing it on the sideline and into the huddle. Guys, we have the lead. Just take care of the football. Don't make it easier for them to start to make a comeback.
So possession still theirs, but now they face a 3rd down.
Here's Murray. And he'll be touched down here, but not before he does pick up the 1st. It'll go as a gain of 6 that time, and it moves the chains as well.
I'm not sure that was necessarily a safety valve or a check down throw on 3rd down. Sometimes just try and find the open guy and get him the ball. He did exactly that and found a way to pick up a 1st down.
So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33. Murray now to throw.
Finding Ertz here on the out route.
And they're going to have this across midfield and inside the 45. Call that a very strong gain of 24.
When you get a big tight end like this, sometimes it takes more than one man to bring him down. Oftentimes, your best bet, just jump on and hold on and wait for your teammates to arrive to help get him on the ground.
So a 1st and 10 now in Houston territory at the 43. Here's Murray as he sets to throw it. Got his man complete over the middle. That's Connor.
And they'll work this down inside the 30.
This offensive game plan has just been sensational. I mean, when you think about all the different ways they've gotten their receivers open so far, it's really been impressive. Scheme, design, execution.
Murray now on 1st down.
slides and covers up at the end as he's going to be able to pick up decent yardage. The improv on the scramble there gets him 6, and it'll be second down.
I think the defense surprised him there with that blitz on first down, but give him credit. Stayed cool under pressure and still found a way through the extra rushers for positive yardage. Well done.
On second down, Connor looking for space. And stopped a few yards shy of the goal line at the 3. 54 yards for him on the ground now, and 3 touchdowns to go along with it.
Well, you certainly have to give a little credit here because they're playing this game now at their pace. This is ball control football, sustained runs, taking their time, and making it work.
Right back to Connor here on first. And he is into the end zone. Touchdown, Arizona. James Conner, a 3-yard touchdown run as his guys are able to push that lead out a bit further. Some good running there at the end of the drive. He had the burst that set up the 1st and goal, and then one play later, he's in the end zone.
Brandon, what I liked about that sequence is I'm not sure who made the play call, but they understood the situation, understood the momentum. A nice hard-charging run, give it right back to him, and let him cap things off.
Prater on to add the extra point. And he's been a busy man, 5 for 5 now as he knocks another one through to extend the lead. So that drive goes 8 plays. And it was a touchdown run by James Conner that was the exclamation mark. After the touchdown, out is Prater to kick. This taken in at the goal line. And they'll start this drive just across the 30. Pretty nice work on the return. And the football going back over now to the Houston Texans. Charles, a very uninspired effort. The last time we saw them out there was a quick 3-and-out, and they punted the football.
Yeah, and you never want to get stopped so soundly during a series, but what would be even worse now is letting it happen again right here. They've got to get going.
And they'll run the option to start the drive. And he went nowhere. He'll lose yardage back to the 29. He'll lose a yard there, and it's 2nd and 11.
You've got to figure the further they fall behind, the more you think that they'll get away from the run. They're trying to stick with it, but the results, they just aren't there.
After the loss to start out, here's 2nd and 11. To throw, Mills. And his throw's going to be incomplete.
Nowadays, quarterbacks don't mind throwing into coverage because of the confidence they have in their receivers to come down with the ball. But sometimes you have to be careful you don't get too confident and throw an interception.
This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down. Working out of the gun, Mills. This is caught. It's Cooks. And he is going to have a Texans 1st down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion. Play action now. Mills. He's got a man. Complete. He's going to go out of bounds, but he takes this one down just shy of the 20. That one nearly 30 yards, 29 officially.
And as a quarterback, you always want to exploit gaps in a defense, and he finds one here. Crossing route, working from right to left across the field. And once you get defenders going in the wrong direction, it is awfully hard for them to pivot back, and you end up getting the first down.
And they'll throw again. Here's Mills. And his throw here's incomplete.
Today's NFL, these big guys are featured receivers. They move all over the place to try and find good matchups, and they had one. They were just unable to complete the pass.
So after the incompletion, 2nd and 10 from the 22. Mills. Over the middle, he gets it to Collins. And able to get him down, but he does reach the 5. That one good for 17 yards, and now they've got it 1st and goal. Mills again. And that is incomplete. He couldn't hold on through the contact. Brings up 2nd down.
Once you get into the red zone, space is at a premium for receivers to try and operate and shake themselves free. That one's incomplete.
The line of scrimmage, once again, the 5 as they get ready for 2nd and goal. And they'll turn to the power game to try to get in. A nifty move on the run, but ultimately stops short of the goal line down at the 2. They get 3 yards closer, but still work to do. It's 3rd and goal. So a decent deficit at this stage in the second half. 4-down territory?
No doubt about it. There's not a chance that he hasn't looked ahead and said, okay, if we gain yardage on this play, this is what we'll do going forward. If we lose yardage, this is the play call that I'll have ready.
They'll run for it with Pierce. And he'll take this one in for a Texans touchdown. Dameon Pierce with his 2nd touchdown of the afternoon. And the Texans get a bit closer. Well, fair to say they've got something here in this rookie running back, and he's in for the 2nd time of the ball game.
And Brandon, it's a position where there's often a lot of turnover, a lot of competition at that spot. But he's proven to them that he wants to be the bell cow guy that his franchise can rely on.
On for the PAT, Kaimi Fairbairn. And that one makes this an 11-point deficit now. A good drive that time as they go 9 plays in all. And it was Dameon Pierce closing things out with a touchdown run. So after the touchdown, here's Fairbairn now to kick it away. And no run back here for Moore. It's a touchback, and it'll come out to the 25. Here's the Arizona offense now as they get set to take over. The offense running out, and they are charged up, ready to go after reaching the end zone on their last drive.
And normally I'd warn against getting complacent just because they scored the last time out. But I don't think there's any worries with this group right now. This is a hungry group, and they want to keep building off of their last drive. Now they just want the officials to hurry up and place the ball so they can snap it and get back to work.
Only a yard on the keeper, and it'll be second down.
Well, that's not a run that's going to make any of the highlight tapes, but they've been moving it well all game on the ground. This is another one that keeps them moving forward.
The last play got just a yard. Here's 2nd and 9 from the 26. Murray a give. This is counter. Only a couple there as he'll be brought down about the 28.
Let's give a lot of credit to the offensive line. They've been able to move the ball really well on the ground the entire game, and while that wasn't a huge one, that's okay. They'll take them in short, steady bursts.
And the Texans have an extra defender in the secondary now on 3rd down. Murray going to throw. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. Good coverage downfield led to him taking off, picking up the first down on a 13-yard run.
He's been making himself a weapon as a runner, and the results, they've been welcomed by his offense. My question is about the defense we're watching right now, partner. Even after he got him with a scramble earlier this drive, they still aren't devoting enough attention to him. I would expect that after that carry, they'll do a much better job going forward, spying on him on passing downs.
Murray now on 1st down. And he'll protect himself at the end here as he winds up getting pretty decent yardage. He'll get 10 there all on his own, but it'll be 2nd down.
Oh, partner, just a second earlier, and they might have had him because they certainly thought they were going to close in and drop him behind the line of scrimmage, but he had just enough time to dodge the pressure, and he ends up getting yardage before being stopped.
On 2nd and very short, Murray. Ertz has it left side. And he'll be brought down on the other side of midfield at the 43.
It's a gain of 6. First down, Arizona.
On 1st and 10 is counter. And to the 36-yard line, taken down there after getting 8 yards.
That's a strong pickup right there on 1st down, and as this drive goes on, we're seeing an offensive line and running game imposing its will.
8 yards the tally on that 1st down run. Here's 2nd and 2. They stay on the ground. Here's Connor again. And he'll work it inside the 30 to the 29-yard line. 74 yards on the ground for him now with 4 touchdown runs tacked on.
I think there's a fatigue factor that's kicking in defensively. You know the will is still strong, but I think the offense is starting to bend it just a little bit, don't you?
Yeah, absolutely. It's looked that way. We'll see if they can continue this already strong drive. They run behind center with Connor to the 27-yard line.
When a drive goes this long, you have to give a lot of credit to the guys up front, those big fellas, because the offensive line is putting something together that allows them to continue to control the ball. I know a lot of people think they get fatigued on a long drive. Actually, a lot of times the reverse happens. They actually get energized because they're controlling the ball, and they're the ones dictating to the defense.
And now Murray's going to set up to throw. It's complete to Brown, right side. And he's going to be taken down with another 1st down as the stop's made at the Texans' 13-yard line. A really nice pickup of 14 yards, and it moves the sticks.
That's another beautiful throw right there. It gets it to his man right in stride, and I think that throw kind of exemplifies what we've seen from this offense throughout this game. They've been in rhythm, they've been sharp, they've been on it, and they pick up another 1st down there.
And this play goes nowhere, losing yardage back to the 15. Nice effort from Jalen Petrie getting to him behind the line of scrimmage. We have played 3 quarters. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. Back now in Houston. It's Cardinal football. They're also out in front of the scoreboard as we get set for the 4th. On 2nd and 12, Murray. Caught by the tight end Ertz. So they'll get 8 out of that completion. And now we've got a 3rd and 4. In search of 4 yards here to pick up the first down. From the gun on 3rd down, Murray. So no sack. He gets back to the line of scrimmage, but it'll still bring up a 4th down.
Late in the game, he's certainly doing everything in his power to buy time for his guys to make a play, but in this case, he's surrounded, and all he has room to do is to get back to the line of scrimmage.
Fourth down, Murray off, and the Cards field goal unit and Matt Prater out there now. From the right hash here, should be an easy one. Prater's kick is good, and that will extend their lead even further. So that maybe not a knockout blow, but I suppose certainly every little bit helps when you're trying to salt one away in the 4th.
Well, the possibility of being beaten by 2 late touchdowns or at least sent to overtime does exist, but time, definitely a big factor at this stage of the game, is in their favor.
Prater now will send it away following the made field goal. On the return, here comes Smith out of the end zone. And ultimately, he stopped right where he would have been if he had simply gone down to a knee at the 25. And here comes the Texans now. And that last drive, so effective in the passing game, resulting in the touchdown. Maybe not many people were focused on the trenches. There was good protection there.
Excellent protection. So now, defensively, you've almost got to get down to those starters blocks like you're a sprinter. Get lower than those guys on offense and find a way to roar through them or around them to get into the face of the passer.
Easier said than done, though.
Way easier said than done. But they've got to try something because right now they're just cutting them to shreds.
4th quarter, every drive so critical, and you figure may only get one more shot after this, so a touchdown's imperative on this drive.
It is, but you also have to think to yourself in play calling, don't hold anything back. Don't save it for the 2nd touchdown. You've got the 1st one for the 2nd one to even matter.
Mills throw complete there to Moore. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. A big one there for the Texans, 18 yards. And with that last play, he's now up over that 300-yard mark.
And in today's NFL, it almost feels routine. And I hate that when you talk about a 300-yard passing game. To me, 300 yards still signifies excellence, and he's achieved that in this performance.
Mills now looks to throw on 1st down. He's got his tight end over the middle, O.J. Howard. And they're going to get this down near the 35-yard line. Defensively here, you've got the cushion, but back-to-back pretty big pass plays there. Bend but don't break, but are they bending too much?
I think that they are. To me, it'd be like playing basketball, and you put up a token press. Make sure you get up there and make them eat up some time. Make it a little bit of resistance so they can't just run it right down your throat.
So into Cardinal territory now. It's 1st and 10 at the 35-yard line. Again, it's Mills. He'll try and set up the screen. It's complete. No gain on the screen there at 2nd down.
Well, that was a simple throw and catch, but even with that completion, 0 yards gained, so they're behind schedule on down and distance.
I think they were hoping to get it to him. He could make a man or two miss, but that window closed quickly. Looking to throw again on 2nd down. Mills. He's got the connection to Moore. And he gets it down a yard or two shy of the 30 before he's out of bounds. Well, certainly those are the types of mistakes they're trying to avoid as they attempt to protect this lead late in the game.
And let's face it, they're hoping that this one doesn't cost them in a significant way. Yeah, one guy committed a penalty, but now the entire defense has to pay the price and try and rise up and overcome it.
From the red zone now, they'll look to throw. And that one drops down, incomplete. Good coverage there, forced the ball free, and it's second down.
In the red zone, precision is the watchword. If the throw's a little too early, too late, maybe off a little bit, going to be a good chance that any attempt is going to be a contested one, and that one falls incomplete.
To throw again on second down. Mills able to get away. And a big loss here as he's taken down. Multiple defenders getting to him there for a huge loss.
I remember throughout my career here in defensive coaches always say, guys, you got to earn the right to rush the passer. Well, they put themselves in a great spot with this big lead, and they know they've got to throw the ball.
These pass rushers have to be salivating. It is pin your ears back time indeed. So now after the sack, Mills and the Texans needing to navigate a 3rd and long. Out of the gun now on 3rd down. He finds his tight end Howard. That's complete. And he's brought down inside the 20 at the 18-yard line.
I don't know how many times, not just in my playing career, but you and I working together, have we ever heard a coach say, you know, I just don't have that play on my call sheet? And that's really what we had here. That was a big hole they were trying to get out of.
Yeah, big gain, still a ways to go, though. Mills to the sideline, and out now is Kaimi Fairbairn for the Houston field goal try. From the right hash, it's a 35-yard attempt. The kick by Fairbairn is good, and that will get the disadvantage now back down to 11. So he remains perfect, 3 for 3 in the field goal department.
And it's so important for any offense to have an ace like him up their sleeve, isn't it? Because now you know what his range is, and as soon as your offense gets there, you're pretty much counting on 3 points going up on the board.
Fairbairn now following the made field goal. He'll send this one away. Fielded just outside the goal line. And they will wrangle him down a couple yards shy of the 30. Here's James Conner now as he trots back onto the field. He's toppled the century mark already receiving the football, closing in on that on the ground, too. They've really had trouble handling him.
I think from what we've seen in this game, his success through the air has started to open things up for him on the ground because now he's loosened up the defense, right? They've got to play just about every snap as if another receiver can get downfield on them, and he's been that receiver. Now they bring him back to the backfield. I think his yardage running the ball will increase as this one goes on.
Well, they might need to devote some extra attention to him, something just to stop the momentum he has.
Now, that's the type of play that gives you a chance to win. Nothing forced downfield where you don't have a guy open. Swing it out to the back, on maybe even check it down, whatever you want to call it. Gain of 5. You're just trying to get 4 on first down. They're ahead of the chains now.
And, he's unable to hold on to that defensively. A potential game changer, but it falls incomplete.
I think he's taking an awful chance with the football right there. You've got to lead, you've got to protect it, and he's taking chances putting it out there in a little bit of jeopardy.
Especially in a spot like this, 4th quarter, as you said, trying to cling to that advantage.
Yeah, that one probably should have been picked, huh?
On 3rd down, it's Conner. And he went backwards. He'll be down at the 30. A 3-yard loss. 4th down now.
With his size, he's a tough man to bring down, but they do a nice job there stopping his progress and not allowing him to get back to the line of scrimmage.
Here's Andy Lee now as he's on to punt for the first time this afternoon. A 40-yard punt, no return, and the Texans will take over with a 1st and 10. Brandon Cooks and the rest of the offensive crew trotting back into place out there. And I know that they've double-teamed him a couple times, but not a ton. Whatever they're doing isn't working. He's up over 100 yards. We'll see how they adjust.
And when they do that, they weaken their defense in other places as well. And how many times have we done games where we've seen a guy have a big game like this, but it's usually not by himself, is it? Right. Usually it opens it up for other people to have big games as well.
And just 3 yards on the catch there. He couldn't get away. And that'll bring up 2nd down.
This possession means so much for them. They've got to focus on this drive and find a way to make this a one-possession game.
Yes.
Got to get a score.
Yeah, so good with a field goal. Don't necessarily need a touchdown. From the 31, Mills. And his throw's going to be incomplete. I guess they're in a situation now, 4th quarter, where they're forced to take some chances, but I don't know that that was the type of a chance you want to take.
And that one could very easily have been intercepted. And if it does get picked off, that could possibly seal this one.
The Texans on 3rd down. They've hit on half of them, 5 for 10. This is 3rd and 7. Throwing, Mills. And he's got the hook up to Moore. And a 2-score game, obviously. Every play, every 3rd down, like we saw there, magnified, big pickup.
It was a huge pickup. What they really want, though, is to not even get to 3rd down. They've got to maximize time and conserve as much as possible.
First and 10, it's Pierce. He'll get it up near midfield to the 49 before being taken down.
I feel like I could see what he was thinking on that carry. Wanted to follow that big tackle through the hole. Ended up only getting 4 yards on the carry. I think he had designs on that one being bigger.
The run got 4. Now they deal with a 2nd and 6. Looking to throw is Mills. He gets it to Cooks. And they're going to have another 1st down as the tackle's made here at the Cardinals 36. Texans passing game in rhythm right now, picking up another 1st. So into Cardinal territory now. It's 1st and 10 at the 36. Up the gut with Burkhead. And he fights forward for a modest 2-yard gain. 2nd down.
You've got to be impressed by that defensive front on reps like those. They were not being moved off the line, kept their shoulders square, and gave their teammates time to fight to the ball and limit that gain.
The last run got a couple. Here's 2nd and 8.
Let's go. Switch.
Mills now. He'll complete this one to Collins. And they're going to have another 1st down as the tackle's made here at the Cardinals 18. Texans passing game in rhythm right now, picking up another 1st.
Well, this is where reading defenses and practice time comes into play. You've got to know what you're running versus zone versus man and how to run the proper route. And they just executed that one pretty well.
So from inside the 20, here's 1st and 10 at the 18. Inside the red zone here, they'll look to throw. That's caught by Howard. A minimal gain there on the 8th play of the drive. from the 16. Mills. Mills hit, and he loses the ball. And the Cardinals have got it, going the other way. And the return stops at the 39-yard line.
That feels like an accumulation of the pressure we've seen all game. I mean, he's been on the turf a whole lot because of sacks. Eventually, something else happens as well, and this time it was a turnover.
Yeah, caught up to him. Arizona getting ready to go as they take the field. And they sit in a good spot, having the ball back after the fumble recovery and up 2 scores in the fourth quarter. Murray and the Cardinals with a 1st and 10 at the 39-yard line. They'll fake it to Connor. Now Murray. And he can't find a receiver, and he's brought down. The veteran Jerry Hughes drops the hammer in the backfield. That time, finally, a measure of revenge as they get him down behind the line.
It almost felt like relief, didn't it? Because with the success he's had throughout this game, you'd almost expect him to get free and pick up 10 to 15 every time he takes off. Not in that case. That has to feel good for the defense.
Now following the sack, they'll come up here on a 2nd down and 12. Out of the gun, here's Murray. And he slides and covers up at the end as he's going to be able to pick up decent yardage. Give him 7 there on the tuck and run, and they're in better shape now for 3rd.
I like how he hung in there and went through his progressions, but eventually his internal clock went off and told him it was time to make a run for it, and he ends up sliding down with a solid gain.
From the gun, Murray. And that is incomplete. Critical play in this football game, because if they pick up the first there, that clock keeps rolling.
Has to be a little frustrating for them because they know that they pick up a first down there and continue to eat away at the clock, really increases their chances of closing this one out. Now they're likely going to have to give the football up and sweat it out on the sideline.
Here's Andy Lee now as he'll kick it away for the 2nd time. And a fair catch called for and made at the 12-yard line. It'll be a 39-yard punt, no return. And the Texans are going to have the football with a 1st and 10 deep in their own territory. Out comes the Houston offense as they get set to take over here. Right now they're on the wrong end of the scoreboard, and that won't change if this drive ends like the last one when they had that lost fumble. So you have a feeling taking care of the football is certainly paramount right now.
Yeah, and it's not just the guy who dropped it on the last drive, is it? That means everyone who might touch the ball is getting the same message. Guys, ball security, paramount. Let's take care of it, and if we do, we've got a chance to put points on the board. We'll definitely see some open running lanes, and he's taking advantage of it right now, but that shouldn't be a surprise. Defense has the lead. They're playing for the pass first.
First down, Mills. Over the middle, complete. It's Howard. And that's good for a pickup of 10 yards. And that'll leave him with a 2nd and just a few inches left. Defensively, they're okay with that. Short little route, tackle him inbounds. Okay.
All right, cliche alert. It's time for someone to make a play because they've got to have something bigger downfield. They can't just take what they give them. They've got to force it and make something big happen for them.
A run for Pierce out of the gun. And he'll be brought down shy of the 40 at the 38-yard line. Only a gain of a yard, but that's all they needed.
Sometimes I get almost mesmerized watching these runners who have great vision. You know, those eyes that carry their feet to open spaces, make people miss. I just love watching those guys go to work.
So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. A first down throw for Mills. Throwing middle, and it's complete. And they'll get him down on the other side of midfield. Charles, he's now over 400 yards passing in this one. It feels like he has a zillion completions. Just a very memorable effort from a guy that we thought could be in line for a big game, and he has exceeded our expectations.
That he has, and I'm not really surprised at all, because when you look at this offensive unit, they are loaded across the board. And, of course, the guy throwing them, he's a big-time player himself. They brought it from start to finish and really helped get the better of the opposing secondary.
Two minutes left to play in this football game here on EA Sports. So it's Texans football as we welcome you back. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. To throw again on second down, Mills. And the pressure will bring him down here. The Cardinals get home for the sack. Getting in there and finishing the play off was MyJ Sanders. Well, collectively as a defense, Charles, I think if you get 4 sacks a game, you're feeling really good. Now they have 6 as a unit.
And that type of a number is just staggering because there's so many ways to try and counteract it. But in this case, they've got no answers for this unrelenting pressure coming at their quarterback.
So now after the sack, Mills and the Texans needing to navigate a 3rd and long. Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. And that incomplete, nearly intercepted. And remember, he had his hands on one earlier, had one pick. Could have been his second, but instead it's 4th down.
That means it's just one last chance left, and this has to be a 1st down or a touchdown, or this game's over.
Mills, 4th down, gotta have it. He's gonna let it fly. And it's incomplete. They cannot convert, and they turn it over. They had to go for it with such little time remaining. And the Cardinals will now take over with excellent field position. So with that, we can just about close the book on this one, Charles.
Yeah, what's the old expression about slim and none? Well, Slim just left town on that
They're
one.
down to none?
Yes, exactly right.
They'll start by running the option to the right. He's tackled a yard short of the marker. Good gain of 9 on 1st down. Now the Texans will use one of their 2 remaining timeouts as they'll talk things over prior to this upcoming 2nd down play. Connor up the middle. And he'll go down at the 28. Now the defense will burn their 3rd and final timeout. And they'll be disappointed to have to burn one there after giving up the 1st down. Game in hand, the offense takes the knee. Down to a knee. Here's the Cardinals look to let the clock roll.
Yeah, it's fun to kneel down in front of your home crowd, but when you go on the road, that band of brothers attitude, right? Just us against the world and get it done. How happy are they?
I remember a coach at a previous stop telling me, you get a win on the road, doesn't matter the opponent, get out of there like you stole something. And they did in this one. So he'll take a knee here to wrap this one up, and he's going to want to keep that game ball. He was sensational.
So it's a win here for the Arizona Cardinals. And we talked so much about the turnover battle determining who wins and who loses. This game, no exception. They didn't turn the ball over at all, and they go on to victory.
They look like a smooth operation in this one, didn't they? Because you look at every facet of the game, they handled their business. Offense took care of the football, converted it into points. Defense took the ball away, gave it back to the offense. Special teams, right there with them. That's the type of game a coach is going to really love and value. And when they show the film, they have to be careful not to give out too many kudos and kill their motivation going forward.
So that'll do it for us. For my partner, Charles Davis, and all the hard-working men and women on our crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the NFL right here on EA Sports. So long from Houston.